What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. You guys can go ahead and check them out in the link to this video. Also in this video, if you guys notice, I'm wearing red today, as are most of our staff here at Hail Trace. This is kind of unconventional, but before our video, I want to let you guys know we have a GoFundMe link in the description to this video as well. If you're not aware, at the end of April, 3 OU storm chasers were lost to a fatal car accident on their way home from a storm chase. And so we are showing our support by wearing red. We have, a standing relationship with OU. I went to OU. We have other staff members who did as well. And all the funds from that GoFundMe are going to the memorial service fees for the families of those students. So if you feel so compelled, go ahead and donate. That is linked in the description to this video. So now into regularly scheduled programming. First, we're checking out our latest 4-star map. So on Friday, there was a pop-up storm that moved through Augusta, Georgia, and we're going to take a look at that and what the hail sizes were and homes impacted, all that good stuff. And then after that, getting into our severe chances for today. We've got chances in the North Plains, specifically Minnesota and Wisconsin. And with those, we could see large hail, damaging winds, all risks possible. So we're going to take a look at that. And then finally, our Texas risk for tomorrow, as well as still in the upper Midwest through Wisconsin, seeing what hail chances and wind chances lie in store for us. But before all of our weather, as usual, our upcoming events come first. And the first of those is still going to be the C3 Lunch and Learn. This one is tomorrow, May 10th, in Edmond, Oklahoma, on the Hail Trace 3rd floor. C3 Lunch and Learn, they're going to be talking about some roofing damage assessment training, and you guys can come on, see the Hail Trace office if you haven't yet, come meet some of our staff, and listen to that awesome talk put on by C3. Then after that, we will be at the Contractor Blueprint Seminar May 13th, so that's more towards the end of the week, but this is also in Oklahoma City at the River Oaks Golf Course. So once again, if you're already out in Oklahoma, come on and see us at that. And then last but not least, checking out the Calm Before the Storm Golf Tournament. This one is in Colorado at the Fox Hollow Golf Course on May 19th. So that one's going to be in like 10 days here. So go ahead and check us out there if you like playing golf, if you like Colorado, talking weather. There's something for everybody at this event. So come on and see us at the Calm Before the Storm Golf Tournament. Then into last week. So this was on Friday. There was a 4-star map in Augusta, Georgia, like we said. So here it is. Started all the way now down near Rennes, Georgia, tracked northward, slowly intensifying, getting to Blythe, Georgia, just north of that, and starting to produce that ping pong to golf ball sized hail. Then once it hit Augusta, it really ramped up, produced some 2-inch stones, and so, hit enough population to make that worthy of a 4-star map. Did some damage through the Augusta area as well, saw some pictures of cars that were dented up from that. So definitely go check out that map if you haven't yet. It is Augusta, Georgia, Belvedere, South Carolina. The max size on that was 2 inches from our Augusta storm here, as well as a couple other rural supercells. And then that impacted over 31,500 homes. So once again, pretty impactful between this and then all the other crazy stuff that was going on through South Carolina that occurred on Friday. So solid 4-star map out of that. Then into yesterday, we had some of this weather that's going to be playing into what we're seeing today. So got all this hail that started up in the far eastern part of South Dakota. That ramped up a little bit near the Fargo area-ish, and then started tracking just to the northwest of Minneapolis. And that continued off to the east all the way into Wisconsin, as well as some around the Duluth area. Got some severe hail swaths out of this, and that is continuing to roll along this morning. We're seeing more storms taking a similar track through Minnesota, producing some severe hail as it goes. And then that's going to continue into this afternoon with around 3. So if you guys are up in Minnesota, this is what we're looking at. We got this system that's spinning away through the upper Midwest and the North Plains. And there's that storm that's just been tracking through the Minnesota-Wisconsin border area and now is making its way up into the peninsula of Michigan here. So with that, we've got a severe thunderstorm watch out, as well as some crazy weather that's happening. As that's continuing off to the east, we're going to get the second band. You can already start to see it bubbling up through the western part of the state. should intensify as it reaches eastern Minnesota, and with that we could start to see another round of severe hail chances into this afternoon and evening as those blow up and go into the full supercell nuts mode. So here's what we have for our current temperatures. There's that cold front that's riding through the Central Plains into Iowa. There is some capping ahead of this. You know, usually you'd see like, oh, a cold front and a dry line. That means severe weather, but the cap is right now keeping all this suppressed from forming any severe weather into today. But through Minnesota, where we've already got that low pressure system driving through and already seeing those storms develop, we do have some instability streaming up into the area, and that'll help those storms ride along into this afternoon. 68 degrees in Minneapolis, 81 in Sioux Falls, 82 in Des Moines, so enough heat to get us some strong storms going in the next few hours. As for dew points, it's going to be pretty similar, 58 degrees in Minneapolis, 64 in Sioux Falls, and a little bit more humid at 67 in Des Moines. There's our dry line that's going to continue to track east. However, once again, that cap isn't going to allow anything to form through Nebraska, but we could get some action through Iowa and through Minnesota with those storms developing through the area. So for our CAPE, our convective available potential energy, we do have quite a bit of it moving up through Iowa right now and into Minnesota. What we've got by 4 p.m. Central, so as those storms start to initiate, it should be around 4 p.m. They've got plenty of instability to ride along through the Minnesota and Iowa border. As that tracks off to the east, it's going to still maintain that area of moderate to high instability, tracking into Minneapolis by around 5 to 6 p.m. So we're watching this, where these supercells are expected to form, and you know, the outflow boundary from this current band of storms, or basically the cold air that it's producing behind that band of storms, is really going to affect the placement of possible supercells into the next few hours, okay? So we're watching where this CAPE ends up, we're watching where that outflow boundary or that cold air ends up, and all of that is going to impact where our storms go into the next few hours. And then as they develop and band up, they'll continue to track off to the east, and then that CAPE is going to diminish into the overnight hours. So here's where we are by 4 p.m. when those storms start initiating. There they go along the 94 corridor as well as just to its south. We see some supercells starting up by around 4 p.m. Those are going to continue up to the north, and again, there they go. You can see that curlicue structure on it, and basically that just means they're rotating. They've got an updraft. These are our forecast models, so you know they're gonna show some nasty weather here in the next few hours, but as those go, right now they've been pretty consistent in tracking them just to the northwest, just barely northwest of Minneapolis, but again, that outflow boundary is going to play a huge part in that. They're going to continue up to the northeast along 35 now and moving their way into Duluth as, again, a couple of pretty angry supercells capable of producing large hail and potential tornadoes. As they'll continue off to the east, they're going to band up, and we're going to see that band starting to make its way all the way down south into the La Crosse area by around 8:30. That's going to continue off into the overnight hours, and then, you know, by later tonight, Des Moines could get hit if that cap erodes enough, but it could just be some loud thunderstorms if not. So that line is going to continue to drive off to the east, and then that's going to play into our risk for tomorrow for Wisconsin. So for our forecast max hail size for today, looking at probably tennis ball to maybe even baseball sized hail with those supercells, looking pretty sturdy on our future models there. Got enough instability to drive that hail, enough of an updraft there, so we could see some larger hail into tonight, maybe some red or purple swaths. So for our hail forecast, here's what we have for you guys. Leaving it at red right now, just because, you know, the instability is making its way up into Minneapolis, and we haven't seen anything higher than that so far. However, we got quarters to half dollars anywhere from the northern part of Minnesota all the way down into Iowa. Again, Des Moines, you're in the risk. It just depends on that capping for you guys. And then pushing our way east into Wisconsin. So Duluth, Minneapolis, and La Crosse have the best chance of seeing some hail into the next evening and overnight hours. Minneapolis, probably the best of anybody, but still wanting to hold off on that high chance for you guys since it looks right now like things might just stay barely to your northwest. But definitely stay tuned to your weather tonight, especially Minneapolis and Duluth. You know, models are consistently showing storms over you guys. Then for Des Moines, low end chance, but still not impossible that you guys could get some severe weather into tonight with that band of storms that's going to develop through the area. Then in terms of wind, we're looking at a similar risk area for you guys, all the way from northern Minnesota into Wisconsin and Iowa as well. So if you guys are in Duluth, Minneapolis, La Crosse, Des Moines, I think this is Madison, Wisconsin here, you guys want to be on the lookout again for some damaging winds as that line forms and then tracks off to the southeast. So Duluth, again, you got a pretty good cluster of storms passing over you pretty consistently on our model runs, so moderate chance for you guys. Minneapolis, La Crosse, and Des Moines, keeping in a low end chance, but we've got tornado risks all across the area as well with those initial supercells, and then with that band of storms that's going to form, that could possibly see some rotation in it as well as it tracks off. So that's what we have for today. Then into tomorrow, again, that band is going to continue to develop, tracking to the southeast through Wisconsin, and then it should blow up a little bit. Here we go, by 4 p.m., starting to see those cells forming through the central part of the state. Not looking too intimidating yet, but then when we get to 6, it really just kind of blows up here. So through Green Bay, through the central part of Wisconsin, seeing those supercell structures passing through the area. That's going to continue off to the southeast through Milwaukee, now more as a band. But again, could still see some hail chances for you guys since it's just starting to form into that line as it passes through Milwaukee. So hail, wind, and tornadoes all possible for the Milwaukee area. By 9 p.m., that's going to continue to track southward through Chicago. By 1:30, however, now it's nighttime, it's cooler, you can already tell that band's starting to lose its intensity. So for Chicago, should just be some loud thunderstorms, lightning, thunder, the works, heavy rain as it passes through you guys overnight, and then it's going to make its way down south and kind of fizzle out into the day for Wednesday. Then also, if you guys are from West Texas, you're in the risk tomorrow as well with this cold front associated with this system. So it's going to be a slow start to the day, sunny, clear, hot, and that's really going to allow all that instability to build up for these storms to develop by around 7. You can see those initial supercell structures all the way through West Texas in kind of a line there, but they're quickly going to band up. So that's the issue with our large hail threat for West Texas into tomorrow, is how long those storms can stay isolated. So then as they band up and track into the Lawton and Wichita Falls area, going to see more of a wind threat, and then even that starts to break up by the early overnight hours, and then it should be another clear night for you guys. So it's going to be a short-lived threat for Texas. All risks are possible. However, our hail chances and those hail sizes are really going to depend on how long those supercell structures can maintain their isolated nature. So here's our hail forecast for Tuesday, tomorrow. Got our hail chances in Texas as well as Wisconsin and even parts of Michigan here. For Wisconsin, quarters to $half anywhere possible through mostly central Wisconsin and southern Wisconsin, but you know, Michigan's peninsula here can't be ruled out. Green Bay and Milwaukee, both of seeing hail, keeping it in the low for right now, but again, we could change this. Any stones that form through the area could ping pong to golf ball size range. Maybe even a little bit larger once we get towards Green Bay, but we're going to continue to evaluate this tomorrow because models have been completely different on what they're putting out for you guys. The HRRR, which is what we saw earlier, is pretty confident in putting supercells through the area, but the North American model, another one of our convective allowing science, our models aren't agreeing. Then down into Texas, we're seeing this one has been a little bit more consistent, putting those initial supercell structures through the area and then forming it into a band as it tracks eastward. So a little more confidence on this one, quarters to $half through southwest Oklahoma, all the way down into the southern part of Texas here, into the Rio Grande area. So Del Rio and Lawton, low end chance for you guys, but things are looking a little bit more, less isolated over Lubbock. So could get hail in the ping pong to golf ball size range, maybe even larger if those storms do form right over you. But moderate chance of seeing hail, and then anywhere in that central part of the risk area could see some larger hail up to 2.5 inches. Then for wind, it's going to look pretty similar through the area. So Wisconsin as well as Texas could see some damaging winds as well as possible spin-ups into tomorrow. So Green Bay and Milwaukee, again, a low-end chance for you because of that low confidence in our forecast models. But then hopping on down to Texas, Lawton and Lubbock, like you guys got a pretty good chance of seeing some gusty winds with that line of storms that tracks over you guys. And then down into Del Rio, a little more scattered, so low-end chances for you guys. So that's what we have for the next couple of days. Then into the rest of the week, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the setup so you know what to expect here. So right now we've got this nasty trough that's tracking through the west part of the US and stirring up all these storms in the upper part of the plains as well as Texas into tomorrow, as we get all that heat and instability developing out ahead of it. So we got this nice cold front that's going to pop up all those storms, but over the next few days it's not really shifting in its location. Okay, so there it is Tuesday, still seeing that trough, and it's digging down pretty deep. However, it's not really changing, it's not shifting off to the east or south or anything. It's really kind of staying where it is, and we'll have more chances on Tuesday for Wisconsin as well as Texas. And then Wednesday's a northern plains risk as well, shifting off a little bit, but again, it's going to be pretty limited to the northern plains and possibly Texas, and this is why. Okay, so we've got this low pressure system that's out in the Atlantic, and that's blocking this high pressure system from moving off to the east so that this next one can come through. So this is holding up the line here. We need this to move out to the east, or we need it to combine with this larger low pressure system, and then that'll help us get our severe weather chances back in play for other areas. But right now, again, this one is blocking everybody from tracking off to the east, so it's kind of holding this where it is. So there it is by Wednesday. Then by Thursday, we're starting to see this weaken a little bit, which is good, and this trough is then starting to advance. So by Thursday, we could see a pretty good risk again for the northern plains and upper Midwest here, as we have yet another negatively tilted trough, or just a trough that kind of tilts in that direction through Wisconsin and Minnesota. We could see some good storms. And then by Friday, there we go, that trough starts to move in, and this blocking low pressure system kind of combines with that, merges together, and then we'll have this one continue to swing off to the east, and the next one can finally move through. So if you're in the northern plains, buckle up. It's going to be a long week for you guys, multiple rounds of severe weather. Texas, you guys as well have a couple chances at it. But again, if you want to stay tuned to our forecasts, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video, and hit that notification bell and that subscribe button on YouTube. And then if you guys want to follow us on TikTok, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we're doing all sorts of fun stuff on TikTok. We are putting out live forecast discussions, usually done by John, Justin, or Derek, and those come out before the forecast video. So if you guys want to get an early start on your day and kind of hear a couple different opinions on what your forecast could look like for those severe weather events, go ahead and follow us on TikTok. And then if you want to give us a call, you can call us at 855-334-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. But we will keep you guys updated as always, and go check out that GoFundMe if you're feeling compelled, and again, we'll keep you updated on all your weather risks. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.